you look at those individuals, and I'm talking skill, not that you can just put two words together, whatever. It's a good beat. Super skill. Yeah, sometimes they can be looked at as a unicorn, and sometimes it's refreshing because sometimes it's like a little bit of a pause. I can tell you now, there's like some country singers that I listen to. I don't rock country all the time, but there's some brothers. I don't know if they're
Yeah.
getting to play in country, but I
Right.
found them and I think they're really good. I messaged them and say they kind of give them the big up, like, yo, man, like keep doing what you're doing. Boom. I don't know if they hit me back because I don't have that many followers. I got like 99, but right, but still, shout out. And I listen to them. I'm like, hey, this guy's really good. The genre is not my main genre of music, and I don't know if they're getting the plays or whatever, that respect. I don't know if you know what I mean, like crossing over, if they call it a crossover.
Right.
But yeah, man, we gotta just get over it. So if this guy likes to do country, may he be the best one. And if they just represent his skills, man, if he's good, he's
No.
good.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, I mean that's what it's supposed to be about. It's
Yeah. I'm
supposed to
like,
be about the talent.
yeah. Look, my thing is, if you have respect for the culture that you're or for the genre that you're in, and look, a lot of people even say, with country music is just basically another version of blues. It's just,
Yeah.
Yeah.
in that
Shout
sense.
out Gary Clark Jr. By the way, shout out Gary
Yeah.
Clark Jr.
Yeah.
Keep
So
doing what you're doing.
yeah, no, there's some people out there up and coming that do it, you know, and as long as they have respect for it and don't,
It always
it,
gets sullied though. That's the thing. It always gets sullied
well, that's it.
because like we know what marketability is. Like, hey, we can market you,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
right. And if
Yeah.
it's like, hey, she's people rapping and singing. There's a market. We mentioned the Island Boys. Island Boys literally had booked dates and shows. They got booed, but they got
Right.
paid for
Right.
dates and shows to come out, and people were like paying to go boo them. Like,
Right.
there's in 2023 and beyond, there's a market for everything. Like,
Oh, yeah.
literally everything. So
No, if you have that unique thing that you stand out,
Right.
there's definitely gonna be an audience for it, good, bad, or indifferent. And
Right.
like you
Yeah.
said, these Island Boys. I mean, yeah, they clowns, and but
Oh, don't even. Before you go back on the topic. I just hit me now. Have you heard Chance the Rapper's country version of Hot in Here?
yeah, I
Yo, dog.
Doesn't-
That to me shows you gotta hear it. It's actually
Yeah.
really, really good.
yeah.
When I
No,
say really, really good, maybe like hardcore country people
No.
like but no, it actually it shows talent.
Yeah,
shows
yeah, no,
artistry.
but Chance the Rapper is pretty talented because
Yeah.
he can sing and he obviously he can rap, but I did hear that he did a pretty good job on it if he was and he was just messing around.
He's messing
doing
around. He's messing
Right.
around.
He just
But what
messing
I'm trying to
around.
say though,
but
if
did you
people went
hear-
out and bought that album, like
Right.
bought that single, I wouldn't be mad at them. It
Right.
was really good, right? He wasn't making fun of it or nothing. He was
No,
he
he was doing
converted it.
Yeah, he just did
Dude.
he put a country twist on it, and
Right. I think,
no.
that,
That's like
that
what-
was it was
that's like
something-
what-
it was,
it was
Run
on some
DMC
show.
Run DMC did for Aerosmith. Let's not forget.
yeah,
Yeah,
Walk
no,
This Way,
yeah.
that was dope.
Yeah, no,
That was dope.
they definitely
They-
kind of resurrected them
yeah,
for that
they
for the
really
most
did.
part.
Did you guys hear what's the Logic do Ice Cube today was a good day?
No, who
It
was that?
Logic. If you get a chance,
Oh.
look up Logic. Today was a good day. They've been roasting them about it. It was just like you
Oh.
really can't do this song. But
Oh, God.
listen, we're gonna move on to the final topic, man. We kind of
Oh.
got off pace. Family memories, man. This is a family pod. So basically how it goes. Glenn and Nadine, my brother and my sister, Dale's my cousin. My sister was raised in Toronto alongside my cousin Dale, like her brother, so they're considered basically brother and sister. There's been a lot of memories growing up, some before me, some during, and of course, those to come. So I'll start family memories. Nobody liked me. Dale didn't like me. Glenn didn't like me. He didn't like me. Nobody liked me. I couldn't play football with Glenn. I couldn't hang out with Dale in his room, and they would leave me every chance he got. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying it live.
He ain't
Everybody
lying.
knows.
He ain't
Nobody
lying.
liked me. I didn't do nothing wrong. All right. Nobody liked me. Nobody enjoyed me. But you know what? Now you're on my Now you're on my show. And I get to mute everybody. Everybody out of here. Get out of here.
Mute whoever you want to mute.
No, but to be honest with you, family memories, stuff that stick out to me. When Dale and I actually started like talking and hanging out, he was saying me like something like it's like almost like Big Apple game. What was that? The what was that thing? The track and field and stuff.
Yeah, Parks
and
Recreation.
I smoked everybody there, man. I went there. I was the ring. I was smoking everybody. That was like one of my favorite memories.
Parks and Recreation.
Yeah, that was definitely one of the things. Me and Glenn. I mean, we it was wrestling, like wrestling on Saturdays. We definitely were big wrestling fans whenever he came up. So wrestling on Saturdays, that always led to like hot dogs and stuff like that in the afternoon and things of that nature. He took me to my first. I think he took me to my first wrestling match. I'm pretty sure I probably went when I was younger, but I don't remember. But
I took you and Cassim.
Me and my nephew.
To the
in the skybox. We was in the
skybox. Yeah, my buddy had.
Yo, it was hot dogs and cookies and stuff. All we could eat, and I'm like, yo, we can have this stuff. I was like, yeah, guy. Yo, crazy, and Nadine dumped me off, man, but it was a good dump off. Did
I put you in Parks and Rec? Right.
Shout out to Milliken Day Camp.
Well, you went way back.
Yeah, that was way back. That was the first. That was like me and Debbie. Debbie was a counselor there, and she got me into the day camp at Milliken. And I ran amok in there too. Got in trouble in there a lot. I got in trouble in Milliken a lot. Well,
the Brooklyn accent in Scarborough went over really well.
I almost got kicked out. I probably been like the first kid to visit his sister in Toronto and get kicked out of a camp that he wasn't paid for. I was doing so much, but I mean, of course, there's lots of memories. We all went to Jamaica last year for my 40th birthday. Definitely a big memory and stuff like that. But this was long overdue. Like I said, we do this in the group chat, so I'll give you guys the floor for the family memories. I'm gonna let Nadine decide this one.
I'm gonna go first because I'm the oldest, even though I don't look it. So I'd like to shout out my brothers on this podcast because all of you have taught me sports and made me what I am when it comes to sports, even though a lot of you say I'm not normal for loving sports the way that I do, because I do watch sports by myself. It's not a like man grab thing. So it's all y'all. It's your fault. I still love my hockey. I love my baseball. I love my basketball. I love my football. A girl from the six repping, my Raptors and my Maple Leafs. I like Leafs, like just one before I die. That's all I ask. The last time they won a Stanley Cup was 1967. I was born in 68. So do the math. I have never seen my hometown team with the Stanley Cup. Now, living in Tampa 3 times. So wow. I'm okay. But I'd like the original, please. I did. Dale and I were fortunate to see our Blue Jays 2 times back-to-back World Series champs. Joe Carter.
Went to one of the World Series games. Remember that?
Yep. Yeah. Dave Stewart pitching. Just putting it out there. So yes, sports has been probably our foundation besides the family connection. If you guys had access to the group chats, you would laugh as hard as I do on some days because we do have a lot of rivals as opposed to being so congruent when it comes to sports, but I love it. And you guys do keep me on my toes. And to be in this family, you have to be thick-skinned because you got to be able to take it. You can dish, but you got to take. So, love my brothers, and thank you for my love of sports.
All right, Dale.
Wow. After that one, so I'm thankful I'm thankful Glenn didn't kill me when we were younger. When I think back to it, I always wanted the older brother, man. I love you, man. Leroy, it was nothing but love. But if I could,
where's Quacky?
I used to talk. We'll bring that up if we survive for another one. I'll bring that up, and I'm still trying to find the original Quacky. I'll tell them the story around that.
Tell the Quacky story next time.
Quacky story next time. But to me, as far as memories go. I'll start with G-Roy to my top right. Those times in Brooklyn, like just you were like cool. You were that cool cousin. So there's lots, but the one time I remember, again, I have to talk about him trying to kill me. Which time was this? I want to say, because maybe it was just dreams, but we were back at that Logan Avenue house, and I remember being at the top of the stairs or something, and this dude threw me off from the top of the stairs, or it could have been Somewhere, one of the two. I remember flying.
Was it a dream, Glenn, or did you?
Was it a dream?
I don't ever remember doing that.
I remember. Maybe I jumped for my life or something.
It might be a fever dream.
Yeah,
was like
I'm pulling a Charles Barkley.
Dale was paranoid. Like any moment he's gonna get me. It's gonna be on the top of the stairs. Watch.
In Jamaica, it was off the high bed.
Yeah,
like it was way before platform beds existed.
But truly, for memories, I remember, like, as I said, it could be so much. But when Glenn came up in the summer, it was good having like your older cousin. When we kind of got to that middle age, I would say I was like the double-digit age. It wasn't the annoying single-digit child that Andrew was, right? But we got to the double age, and it was good having your bigger cousin there because we would play sports, as Nadine mentioned, right? We'd be outside, and he could hit the ball the farthest. You know, he was the fastest or the strongest. Like, you'd see that. So all your other friends knew when you had your side. So that was honestly the one thing, and getting me into sports and challenging my knowledge, right? Because I wanted to know. I want him to know when he came back up in that next summer, like I knew stuff, right? So one thing would have been like baseball, right? I used to know like numbers, like what people hit, daylight, right, left, astroturf, because I always wanted to be that one up. And I remember growing up, I think I used to always say to Glenn, like, you know, I'm gonna be as smart, like, you know, as smart as you, as big as you, but never as rich as you. He got man has money, yo. He man has money, yo. That's one of the things I should have put on my list. Failed on all three so far. But nothing but love, G-Roy. For you, Drew. For you, maybe I say you for Nadine. What I remember was I'm so glad because she was up in Toronto, because she saved my skin so many times. But there was this one time, it was winter, and there was this bully. We're at CD Farquharson. This man threw a snowball in my eye. In Jamaica terms, like blinky. He couldn't see nothing. And she came out of nowhere. I think she was in grade 6. And I would have been in whatever age. Like, I was young, like whippersnapper. And I was small. And she came, she's like, what happened? What? And she's like, who touched my brother? And she was like, look at the school. Because that was when we could go down this little hill. And yo, when she found the guy that did it, she laid a beat down, like smack down. If we had cameras, it was like YouTube worthy. I saw my mouth. World star. It was, yeah. And it was one of those beatings where I honestly did not have to fight again in my life till like grade 7. Because everybody, and she didn't even go to the school anymore. But it was legendary. They're like, yo, you don't even look at this, don't bug this guy. Like, not touched. And here's a funnier thing, because we talked about it. I don't know how many years ago it was, but you had to take the bus or something.
Yeah, I was living at Sonmore. Like, it was when I was in my 20s.
So
going to work.
One day, she came into the house and she looked like she saw a ghost. She's like, what? I was like, what's up? She goes, Dale, remember back in grade school when I pummeled that guy? I was like, oh, who could forget? I think we still talk about it. Legendary. She's like, I think I saw him. And I was like, what? She goes, he lives over on
he's at the bus stop, and he's like 6'4".
He's like 6'4", 300 pounds. But here's the thing. He was a bully. Like, this talks about moments, man. You want to put a bully in his place? He just had his ass beaten for everybody. That guy was a bully, and he was on his way to be like the popular kid. After the pummeling, I don't think I ever saw him speak. I don't think he lifted his head. I was like, yo, that was crazy. That was my memory moment, life of protection. And for you, Drew, man, I could write a book. I'm gonna do 2 with you, because you touched on one. So yes, we celebrated his birthday in Jamaica's 40th. Yeah. That was actually kind of planned, right? that was, planned event. People showed up for that reason.
Oh,
The other memory was England, where this guy believed our family reunion just so happened to be in the vicinity of his birthday. This little kid, the annoying kid that he was, believed that we almost had like 500 people were there for his birthday. And there's photo evidence that he'll probably pull up one day and show you. I'm looking at him the whole trip. So from Toronto, he's coming from Brooklyn. We're in the UK and England for our family reunion. Had nothing to do with him. He had it convinced, and I was telling him the whole time, shut up. Ain't nobody care about your birthday. But what happens? They bring out I was like,
yo,
if I was in that photo, my face was just like, the kid who thinks the universe revolved around him. You're playing into. Don't play into this, people. I know him.
They gave me what I wanted.
They gave him what he wanted. And so from there on, I hope that is what helped. I hope that's what helped catapult you to where you are now for that instant.
Superstar.
I hope that was it. But the one thing I have to actually say, and the other memory, everybody on the total extreme of that, I would say, was this guy is an artist. Like this guy, we did rough you up on your thing, and there was remember that one day where I just said to you one day, like, you bought my video game. I was walking out the house, and I was just like, yo, go play.
Right.
I think that was like probably your best day. I was like, yeah,
bro. I was like, yes, yes. Like I could play the Genesis. It was Joe Montana, like 94,
Joe Montana
like,
football.
Yo, man, I was just there.
I was like,
beat button spinning behind the line, like, best day.
You're actually pretty good. But the memory that I do have was a little bit later in life, and that was getting married. So what happened was my wedding. We're doing it on a I don't know what you guys call it, on the tight budget, and and it came down to people came from pretty much all over, and we didn't have an MC. The person who was gonna MC technically he flopped. The DJ was kind of doing it, but it wasn't really whatever. So this little kid, I don't even know if you were old enough to drink at that time.
I think I was 18,
19. Yeah, 18, 19. Said I could do it. I was like, what? He said, I know everybody already. And I was like, you know what? I think the dean may have said, I'll monitor them instead or whatever. But never did anything like that before. Never did anything like that before. Maybe you did like your little, memory verses at church or something. I don't know what you did, but
you didn't take the train with them from Brooklyn to Toronto.
Yeah, man. And our wedding was it was done by himself. While it was done on a budget, we did have a lot of people attending. Nobody. What you're doing right now, I want to say I was a part of this breakthrough because I honestly have been to so many. I don't want to offend people. I've been to so many weddings. And dog, what you did at 18, 19 years old to MC my wedding was historic. Like, I'm not just saying that. As I've told you before, but I haven't really said like the biggest thank you, man. Like, you took it down, bro. You also took down my alcohol. That's a whole different story. I think most of that was after I went away.
Yo,
came back.
Yo, I was on cloud 40.
Is there like what do you call that after so many years? I can talk about stuff. What is that?
Oh, statute of limitation.
Statute of limitation pass. Because I was handing bottles out to Lance, to Desmond.
Yo,
I didn't realize that. I was so like, we were.
Yo, it was so turned. It was so turned up. I just remember. I remember when Loretta was speaking and like just standing behind her. You have that picture, and I remember actually being at the wedding, like trying to snap photos and stuff like that. And I just remember like the reception, like when everything was pretty much like we're done, I'm done, and it was like the bartender was like taking care of me and stuff like that. And somebody, because it was a cash bar, wasn't it? It wasn't free. It was a cash bar.
It was a cash.
I'll be right back.
I don't know where I got the money from. Who gave me the money to do this? But I was buying people drinks. Somebody gave me money.
You convinced the bartender because you were the MC that you drank for free.
Not
You're a
smart.
slickster. That's what you had done. That's what you had done. And you
It
also,
was
I had
something.
I had certain bottles. It's going back to memory. What do you call it? Wedding memory. I had certain bottles because whatever bottles we didn't crack open, I could have got returned, right?
Right.
But they had like three stations. So you found one that you liked, and they cracked that bottle because I was
Yeah.
gonna bring that. It was an expensive bottle, man. And you had that man crack them open, so I had to bring him back to our place, to a little apartment. And then when I went away on the honeymoon,
Honeymoon.
I'd say I would say
Deal,
vacation.
yeah.
That was not a honeymoon.
He's
Right.
And
recording for his podcast, so.
and you ended up waxing that off with, was it? I don't know if it was a cranberry something you were licking down.
Man, listen, it was that whole thing was a blur. I just remember the few things I remember from that wedding was me and Troy was probably all of like 14, 15. And I know I was sneaking Troy drinks. I know that for a fact. Sorry to anybody. I know I snuck Troy some drinks. I know Glenn was tearing it up on the dance floor. I know that for a fact. Glenn was in Glenn was doing the George Jefferson. He was on tilt. I remember that. I was like, Glenn's dancing. It was crazy. Then I was trying to figure out who was family or not.
The best part of all of that, man, like, and you could test to this too, man. We were doing it tight, like, but it was the best time. Like, if I was to do it now, I would have, it would be like crazy, like so different. But I don't think I would have to change anything.
No.
Right? Because
point.
Everything was given. The food was like banging. Yeah. I remember bringing home extra chicken, like, and I didn't have any steak. Steak was done, but salmon and chicken for about a week.
Yeah.
And going in, we didn't actually even know if we could afford to feed everybody. Like the loaves and the fishes. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
Especially
because mom invited people that we hadn't seen in 20 years.
Yeah, exactly.
I was in that receiving line. I'm like, oh, she's lucky I don't live here anymore.
The receiving line that never ended?
I was like, these people are not coming to nobody's wedding. I remember Andrew's sister Hazel, though.
Oh, yeah, she was going, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, like, we were always, like, up to this day, may she rest in peace. I'm still afraid of her. Like,
yeah,
Hazel,
that was your girlfriend, man.
Yo,
Andrew changed, like, seriously.
Yeah, that was the funny thing is, like, I had MC'd, I don't know, it was after your wedding. I did like the family reunion or something like that.
Oh, remember?
They had me do it.
Discombobulated?
Yeah.
That was after. Yeah, that was after.
It was like once I did your wedding, I was like, yo, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. Everybody wanted me to do a bunch of stuff, and I was like, oh shoot.
Okay, not naming names, but what's the name of that pastor that time at the family reunion? That held out that note for like 20 minutes.
Oh, who was singing?
Yeah, and then Andrew walks up and is like, that was something.
Something.
I remember that.
Yo.
We're going to get kicked out of our own family reunion.
That was funny, man.
Yeah, that was definitely a time. Glenn, what memories you have? What's the
Glenn?
Yeah.
All right. Obviously I have a lot, but I'll start. Yeah, the Dean. When I guess when I start coming up to Canada, obviously I was your annoying little brother that had a crush on your BFF who just rebuffed me. But it's all good. Shout out Kathy. You guys
knew I was about to say it.
But anyway, it's all good. But coming up there, so you
blew it, Kathy.
But you always looked out for me. But we definitely had fun when you came down to New York. I just remember, when we were we were up there trying to record songs on the radio and cut out the commercials and all that other good stuff. I still have like a box with like all my old tapes and stuff in there that, the cassette. I just didn't throw it out, but I just remembered. And honestly, there is one of those when we were playing, we were recording some song and playing it, and I didn't take the tab out of the, you have to take the tab out the tape so you can't record over it. And of course, Andrew, was young at the time, and the song was playing, and all I hear mom is saying, Andrew, don't touch the tape, and then it go off, and they said, Andrew, don't touch the tape, and because I guess he hit like the record button down while the song was I'm telling you, I'm gonna find that tape. And if I find that part, I
We
swear
got to
I'm gonna play
digitize it. We got to
honestly,
digitize it.
that was just, this is one of the things that I just remember. We used to always do that, and then you come down in the summer, and then we'd go back to school shopping before. And we would get like those good deals on like those Izods and the polos, like the one year we got, and then we went to the like the Aqueduct flea market.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I think your dad took us out there, and
that's still around too. The Aqueduct.
Yeah, because then I think that one year I got like that watch that used to play Yankee Doodle.
Oh,
it was like those old digital watches, and it used to play like the Yankee Doodle Dandy song as the alarm noise. I just remember that. But we went there and got that. So no, I definitely remember that. And of course, after you moved to Tampa, I think it was a great thing. I never took advantage still of the Yankees having spring training there.
I'm going on Sunday.
And I come down there all the time and don't go to the games. But just going there like one of the first year or so when you were down there, at least that I came down there, and I went to the beach, and then I'm like, I called Nadine and I'm like, what's up with this? It's raining, and I think it was St. Pete, and she's like, well, just go to Clearwater, and I just drove like another half hour, and it wasn't even like it rained down there. I'd never really even been to Florida, and I asked the people, I'm like, oh, did it rain here? And they're like, no. And I'm like, oh, okay. It just showed how weird Florida was, that it would just rain in one spot and not the other, where, we're so used to being here that if it rained here, then it's probably raining, everywhere else. But yeah, Florida's just weird like that. But, we definitely had a lot of good times down there, since you've been down there, of course. Always know I had a place to stay. I saved a ton on hotel bills on, coming down to Tampa. And you hooking me up with the Sun Pass. I have it. I took it out the rental, so it's all good. You let me know when we I have to get my own, but I come down enough.
I can't even imagine. Oh.
Yeah, and then and then just going to those football games. We did go to that Tampa Washington game where I almost got shook out my seat when that cannon went off. I didn't realize how loud that thing was, man. That thing is loud, and it was a field goal, so I wasn't even thinking about it. And then I'm like, wait, this thing go off a field goal? I was like, this thing is loud as all.
Not if it was Dallas's kicker, they'll never go off. Go ahead.
Yeah, Mar wasn't kicking that day. Yeah, so I was like, so. And then of course when you were in that Fort Lauderdale area for a minute, and we went to that Dolphin game, which honestly was the hottest day ever. We were playing
in December.
They were playing Green Bay. The sun is just on you the whole time. There are a bunch of cheeseheads down there, and of course to top it off was that guy dressed up like Burger King. This guy was dressed up like the Burger King. You remember that creepy king mask when he was wake up with the king, and he had that creepy wake up and that creepy mask in the face. That guy had that on, wearing that felt,
the cape.
Coat. Yeah, he had that cloak on and wearing the tights. I was expecting him to get carried out of there, but
so hot.
But yeah, that was crazy. But I just we definitely had some good times down there. And then of course, obviously growing up, even when I was the annoying little brother you didn't want anything to do with, but I'm glad you accept me now. So
well, you wouldn't let me borrow your shirts because you kept on saying I'd put
that's right, you're gonna put bumps in them.
Well, he gets nice polos. I'm like, let me wear that.
No, it was fun though,
and lots of Yankees games. I'm telling you, that's how I live.
And definitely, going to Yankee games up there in Toronto. That was cool.
We're definitely a sports family.
No, it did.
Oh yeah,
we definitely get into sports.
Yep.
Nadine, remember? I think it was the first time I went to the Sky Dome, and I was looking at the seat and I fell.
Yes.
Yeah.
He
So
fell over. You know how you look up at the CN Tower and it's so tall? So he
Yeah,
went
yeah, yeah.
that. And he literally
He
just
leaned
fell
it.
over.
yeah, I looked up and I just fell backwards. And then the other time, the other time, it was all of us. It was all of us, and I think Sharon was there too.
It was when
And
Carlene got there.
yeah, me and Glenn were like everybody, all the right-handers came up. We was like, "Oh, right-handers up!" You know what I mean? Watch out for the foul balls. And one hit me and Glenn like somebody's gonna get hit in the head. And one hit the side.
Yep.
They went
Hit that
straight
stanchion,
down
came
and
straight
hit that
down.
little girl.
Hit that girl. She was done. She
That's
was
it,
done.
game over.
Yeah, that thing came off that thing hard.
Yeah,
That came off that thing hard.
It went straight down. It didn't ring it. Boom.
Yeah, it came down like a bullet.
And,
Like a bullet.
Yo, Glenn and I were like, "Yo, watch out for the foul balls, right?" And
Yeah.
go up. And he kept saying it. Look out! Look out! And nobody listened. It was like,
Yeah.
quick, boom. And she was like, "Ah!" Like,
Yeah.
like, oh man, that was
Yeah, they had to take her out.
That was the time. You know, the reason why I think I'm a Mets fan as well. A lot of people don't know. I went to a lot of Yankee games growing up. Vic would take me to the Mets games and stuff like that. But I went to the Yankee game because Jackie Robinson, we went with Jackie Robinson went to the Yankee games. When the Yankees were bad, tickets were really cheap. So we sat up in the nosebleed bleachers. Upper deck. And that's because that's all the school could afford because they were like free tickets and stuff like that. But the amount of wino and homeless the tickets were so cheap to get into Yankee Stadium. Dudes were laying down and sleeping. I remember the parallels. Going to the Mets game, it was packed, it was sunny, and Howard Johnson is playing and stuff like that. It was a great thing. And then going to Yankee Stadium is like, man, this is depressing. Like, this is terrible.
So there's homeless people are in the stadium.
They're in the stadium. When the Yankees, this is like 90. I want to say 94.
It'll be earlier than that.
Right, it could have been earlier.
Yeah, but the Yankees they got better. They were pretty bad up until they were pretty
after
bad.
the Blue Jays won.
Yeah, I mean 94 was like because 94 was the strike year, so they were actually pretty good that year. It might have been like 93 or something. Yeah, it'd be like the early. Yeah, it could have been 93. It was definitely in the early 90s. They were bad. The 80s through the 90s, they were bad. They just after they lost in 81. Yeah, because I used to go to those Yankee games, and it was more for giveaway days, than anything.
Yeah,
and they always giving away stuff.
And on those days, it was just like, it was. I remember.
And the Mets were really good. So yeah, they were selling out. They had Doc and Strawberry.
Yeah,
shout out to Doc Gooden. Shout out to
Doc.
Nice shout out.
But that's probably part of the reason. Yeah, Mookie and everything like that. That's why I probably became a Mets fan because the Yankees were depressing. Yeah, depressing.
They were bad.
Yeah, they were depressing.
Former Blue Jay Ricky Henderson.
But yeah, man. I'm glad that we were able to come together and do this.
Shout out Maxine.
Yeah, shout out to Maxine again. Shout out to cousin Max. She wanted to see this. We were definitely going 2 hours strong.
No, this is longer than a movie, man.
Right. Yo, listen. Normally an episode would have been done, but this is what happened. We get together. Forget about it. There's a lot of stories. It's nonstop. Yeah. Talk about sports. Talk about politics. Talk about everything, man. And then we're not even drinking. Like if it was some beers here, maybe Nadine.
Hey, it's still my birthday.
Shout out! I was about to say shout out to my sister, whose birthday was yesterday.
Double nickel
yesterday. I was going to spare you. I was going to
say, I own it.
Yes, double nickel for my sister. So shout out to my sister. Happy birthday again.
Thank you.
And this was fun. We definitely want to do it again. Definitely will do it again during the season. But like I said, Dallas Jets are going to play Dallas. I think Dale and I should go to Dallas. I've never been to the stadium. Let's go to Dallas.
We'll book it, and then we'll record our whole adventure.
Let's do it.
There.
Let's do it.
Get a GoPro.
Let's do it. I got phones. I got cameras. Let's do it. Let's go to Dallas. I'm definitely going to Vegas. So if you guys want to meet me in Vegas for the Jets Raiders.
When is the game? I'm not even joking around.
They don't. I don't know when the
They don't
game
have the
are.
schedule
They don't know
yet.
when?
They just have the teams. Yeah.
I just know it's road.
Oh, okay.
No, it might be. They said it might be Thanksgiving. It might be Thanksgiving. If it's Thanksgiving, I'm not.
What?
Yeah. If it's Thanksgiving, I don't think.
You can't go.
Can we go?
You can't do Dallas then.
Why?
Why not?
Oh, Jets Dallas. You mean
Jets
Thanksgiving?
Dallas.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry. I thought
yeah.
you were saying the Raiders.
No, Raiders. No. Jets
Oh.
Dallas might be Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah,
Can I
that'd be
go?
cool.
Can we go, Dale? Can we leave our families and go?
I did it before.
It's not his Thanksgiving.
It's your Thanksgiving, not mine.
Right. You're right. It's our Thanksgiving. Like, babe, I'm not going to be here. Don't plan anything. I'm out of here.
So it's
But,
gonna be
yeah.
in Dallas.
Yeah, it's gonna be in Dallas.
It's gonna be
Definitely
in
gonna be in Dallas. Yeah, definitely.
All right, I might have some connects. We'll talk offline. Don't wanna
Of
We'll
course
put
talk
my name on
offline.
blast.
We'll get this done.
Of course he does.
And the
And not
Jets
Jerry.
Commanders-
Not Jerry.
Not
We're
Jerry.
talking to
Cole Michael Irvin.
Michael. You're-
I don't think he's
What
persona
hotel?
non grata.
What the hell are you staying at, Mike?
Because we don't
Not
want
the
to-
Marriott.
Not the
Not the
Marriott.
That's my Bon Voy. Shout out to the Marriott. Bon Voy.
And the Jets play the Commanders this year as well. I don't know if it's on the road or at home. So if it's at home, you're in Jersey already, Glenn. I'll make
home?
sure. I'll make sure to do a tailgate if it's a home game. I'm not too sure. I got to check the
The Jets have a home?
Jet. Well,
They share a home.
we share a home.
I still have my Bucks season ticket, so you know where I'll be.
we share a home. So the Jets play.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
gonna tell you right now. They play at home. They play Washington. So we could do that. And away,
It's not far.
it's Vegas and Dallas. So they said it might be Thanksgiving. I don't know. Say it might be Thanksgiving. We'll see. We'll see about that. But that'll be something definitely to put on the calendar going forward. But yeah, man. If you survive this long, this was me and my family. So that's my brother Glenn, my sister Nadine, and my cousin Dale. Make sure you guys are following us on social media. When I say us, I mean Kevin Lewis at Kevin Lewis because he's not here. Kevin Lewis, follow Kevin Lewis at KLEW24. Make sure you follow Jude Truth at Jude Truth. Follow us on Instagram and on Twitter at MIPod69. And we do have a TikTok. Follow us at _initial_pod on TikTok. Do you guys want people to follow you on social media? I know Dale and Nadine have to. I know Glenn doesn't.
I'm on Twitter.
No.
I'm weak.
No.
No.
I'll be
Without
that
hesitation.
mystery guy to see if I make it back. Right. I don't know. The thing is, I don't know my tag.
No,
even share
it's
it.
something like
Yeah,
this,
you
but
can
it's
add-
not.
It's,
Yeah.
it's definitely
It's
something like that.
like- I just wish you had this podcast the year that Tim Tebow got drafted with
Oh, Tom
what's his name?
Jackson watching.
Tom Jackson's reaction with
Tom Jackson.
Yo.
I,
oh my God.
I didn't think.
My
I didn't
stomach
think-
muscles hurt the next day. I've never laughed so hard in my
Yeah,
life.
we were talking about that. His
Oh
face.
my God. That was
Yeah.
like way before like you could text a lot too. So we were like
Right.
saving them up.
Save me the text message for when it counts.
Yep.
But yeah, man, definitely
All
shout
right,
out.
fam.
Appreciate everybody for coming through. And this is long overdue, and we'll do it again.
We got to do
Um,
it quarterly.
Yes,
Every quarter.
quarterly. Listen, we could do it every quarter. It's my show. It's my show. Do what I want. It's my show.
Who let
Do
the
what you
young man
want.
in charge?
Do what you want. Hey, you guys take over another week. This is the new show now.
I know.
Here you go.
The new show. All right, guys.
And
Stay
we
safe.
all remember what Drew said.
What?
Who's winning the Super Bowl? Who's winning the
Oh.
Super Bowl?
I'm
I did not hear that.
I'm not on record. I'm not on record. With that being said, stay inspired by 69. Peace.
Peace.
Yeah.
Peace out, everyone.